Welcome guys to the Dynamic Podcast with Brendon and Rianon.
On this podcast, we're here to talk about self-development, health and fitness, business, and our journey as brand new business owners.
Let's go. Make sure you stick around because I'm telling you right now, this is the best podcast you'll ever see.
Enjoy, guys. Ciao.
You got to say, welcome back to the Evolv Podcast. Oh, wait, it's not the Evolv. Welcome back to the Dynamic Podcast.
Okay. Ready? And welcome back to the Evolv Podcast, guys.
That's not the name. It's the Dynamic Podcast now. Yay! You can't hear it because I haven't put it up yet, but yay! Now you can hear the applause. So yes, we have changed our name. It is now the Dynamic Podcast. We have been fighting this battle with everyone around us for the past year and a half since we've been starting it to keep the name somewhat similar to the business we run, but we thought, no, we're invincible. We can do two things at once, can't we? So we had the Evolv Podcast and we had the Dynamic Recov mobile
business
services.
Yep.
And now we've turned a new leaf and we've turned this into the Dynamic Podcast now.
Well, to be fair, when we started the podcast, we had another owner of the business. So that's why we started the podcast with a different name, because the podcast was just two of us.
Yes.
And the business was three.
Yes.
But now the business is just two people and the podcast is two people. And it's the same two people that run both. So there's no reason why there has to be a different name.
Very
Might as well
true.
just merge them all.
Merge it all together, make it all make sense. So now when we share it, it's the Dynamic Podcast sharing it with Dynamic Recov.
It's cleaner. I like it.
Yeah. Did you ever think that you would change the name of the podcast?
I didn't, but there wasn't.
Because now we've named group classes after the podcast, or the previous name.
Oh, Evolv. That's right. I don't think that matters, to be honest.
We'll leave it there as a memento.
I don't think anyone cares what the name of a class is called.
Nah, I don't think they do either. I think they just come for the enjoyment of it. But
Actually, one thing about classes, sorry to cut off the trajectory of this podcast, but I've never been a group training guy. And I know I've said this on the podcast before, and I've said it multiple times, but we just saw a few posts this week of people putting flaming group classes, how they're not beneficial, they don't get you results, they basically do nothing for you. But being in this environment, it's actually taught me a lot of things. It's made me realize that there is a space for group training. It's very important. Half the people here, if they didn't have a group class to attend with their friends, would not train at all.
Yeah.
They might not have the budget to spend hundreds of dollars on PT every week to be forced to come to the gym.
Yes.
So coming to a group class that's structured, that's coached, it allows them to move their body and strength train without, look, they might not be able to get 1 kilo extra on the deadlift because they're not tracking it, but they're still getting results in here.
I think group training has a very bad flick to it. When people mention group training, the first thing that comes to mind is burpees.
Burpees, squat jumps, injuries, people not doing the right thing.
100%.
People not getting progressions. Sorry to your optimized hypertrophy guys out there.
There's a lot of slack on it, but again, we don't have any proof to the pudding yet. That's why we did this 8-week challenge. We're doing an 8-week challenge, guys. We're doing an 8-week challenge, and majority of the people that are doing the challenge are in-house. The reason being is to create a community and create a bit of a name for ourselves. But on top of that, majority of those people are just doing group classes.
Yeah.
This is kind of I believe, this is kind of our way to show that the consistency matters, not so much the group class. Like just the stigma of a group class, if that makes sense. Because there's people that have come in with injuries and are now lifting well above what they believe they could.
100%.
Like we had one of our clients come in with a shoulder injury, couldn't press anything above her head, and slowly over the progression of 3 weeks now, she's been able to gain more mobility in her shoulder than ever before, more strength. She's lifting now 3 kilos above her head
3
comfortably.
kilos. Last time I saw her doing 1. Oh, there we go.
She was doing no weights in the beginning. And now she's progressed to now 3 kilos.
I
So,
remember you got her doing those band pulls overhead.
banded shoulder presses.
Yeah.
I think the slack comes from. Well, actually, what do you believe the slack comes from? Like, where does it stem from?
I guess when you come into, I can't really pull any. The slack for me comes from the fact that I've always been a PT, and what I do in PT is very structured, it's very controlled, it's very focused, and we only complete 4 exercises in a session. But that to me is enough because they're actually progressing in each of those exercises. I'm tracking their performance, and every week they're improving, and I'm seeing that through stats. Sorry, but you can't do that in a group class. I'm not going to sit there and watch 10 people at once and be like, oh, yep, you got 1 kilo extra today. Yep, you did this, because you can't actually do that. And most of your group class studios, sort of like F45, the Yard, C3, or your BFTs, those studios, those people just walk in, do their session, walk out. Very similar structure to this. But the thing is, you can't, honestly, you can't get those progressions. Yeah, you saw one improvement with one of those clients, but are you able to see that with 50 people every week?
No, but the one progression that you can see is the consistency. How many times they're coming each week.
Consistency with training,
The movement, whether they're improving in their form. Again, it comes down to the coach as well.
Yeah.
Coach plays a big role in how they develop in a group class. Not to say that group classes are exactly where you need to go to when you can't find the motivation or you want to get that structure that you want. It will set you up with that. It will set you up with a structure because Monday, Wednesday, Friday's weights, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday's hybrid, and Sunday's mobility. Not plugging it all, just letting you know that there are classes. But that's the structure that us as PTs sometimes follow. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is weights. Tuesday we go for a walk or a run. Like, that's the base that we set it off. So having
if they were training with me 5 times a week, I would follow a similar structure to what we're doing in group training. But then people have specific goals. For example, I have clients that want to get pull-ups. I have clients that want to increase their hip thrust numbers or be able to deadlift. Yeah. You can't do that in a group class.
You can't. There's too many people and not a lot of coaches.
Yeah, not enough coaches. You need one-on-one support, or you need a program that you're going to follow on your own.
Correct.
The thing is, though, you can actually do that here, but we won't go fluffing up our business or what we do.
You can do it to some degree. There's some level of progression in the classes,
but they can also train on their own or get PTs or
there's an abundance of options here, which is cool.
Which is, I guess, how we differ from your standard
Yard
group training studios.
F45 spec.
Where they got the coaching side of things attached to the group training.
Yeah. Well, the group classes are a part of the PT package.
Yeah.
So, it's an added element of movement for a specific program that you create for them as a coach.
Yeah. There's been a lot of times that I tell some of my clients, hey, we did 1 session this week. I want you to come to 1 or 2 group sessions, and I want you to come to these specific ones for their goal. So it's still good. I see the group training as more exercise rather than training, because you're not really. I solidify training as you're completing this session for X result.
Yeah.
Whereas a group class, you can't go into it thinking I'm going to this group class for X result, because you're going to be disheartened. You're not going to actually get that result from a big group class, but it's still moving your body.
Correct.
And it's better than sitting at home and doing nothing.
Yes. Just like the 2 to 3 people that are watching this podcast right now.
Sitting at home and doing nothing. Listen to 2 boys waffle on a pod.
I want to go back to the podcast now, because I love talking about group training, but there always comes a point where we talk about group training so much that you stop talking about it. So I'll do that part for us now.
Yeah.
With the podcast and how the business trajectory has gone, do you believe it's simultaneously grown with the business?
The podcast. I was speaking to someone a few weeks ago who watches our podcasts or have watched a few of our podcasts, and they believe that the one thing that we don't do, or they believe we don't do, is we don't prepare enough for these podcasts. And we both put our hands up and said, yeah, we don't, because we don't exactly have all the time in the world to be able to sit there and research and craft up questions and come up with ideas, because it's not our main focus.
Yeah. There's no source of income from it. It's an enjoyment.
It's an enjoyment, of course.
It's a passion of ours because we like talking about things.
We like talking about things. Now we're actually solidifying our goals with the podcast. We're also solidifying our goals with our business. And it's giving us more of a roadmap of what we want to achieve. Hence why we're connecting them all together.
Yeah.
And we're allowing this podcast to become a little platform for our business, but also our lives too. We just got our coaches on the pod. We've had all of our coaches on before, so you can look back at our previous episodes with our coaches, and now we've gotten our 2 current coaches in the gym on the podcast, which is pretty cool to see. But that's sort of the road that we're taking with it, where we're integrating both businesses, trying to solidify that we're here to not just waffle on about health and fitness topics like we were before, or speaking about business to just business owners. We're trying to connect everything and make sure that we're doing the right thing for our audience as well, which we weren't doing before.
And doing it dynamically. I think it's all worked itself out, the name and our business and what we stand for. Like the Dynamic Podcast, it's 2 blokes. There's obviously other dynamic podcasts out there, but it speaks numbers to us because we're very dynamic people. We have to be, as coaches and as business owners.
And podcasters.
And brothers and sisters and whatever we are, right?
And dating each other's sisters and stuff.
Yeah, and dating each other's sisters, all that stuff. But I think it's all kind of fallen into place for us in terms of the consistency. I think it's hard because you're doing 2 things at once. It's like trying to do a deadlift and a bench press at the same time. It just doesn't work. But you can find ways to break it up and make it work. You can do a bench press and then you can do a deadlift after.
Yeah.
We struggled with that in the beginning. That's where we had this big hiatus break, and I mentally broke down because I was going through a body comp and I wanted to stop it, and we couldn't. I just planted in my head that it was it. That was it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't balance the 2 because there was no balance. But now, utilizing this podcast as a platform for us to speak about our experiences and collaborate with people that are on the same path and develop the same skills as us, it just now gives us another avenue to call it the Dynamic Podcast and show people that it can be done. This is new to us. We've never done a podcast before. Have you?
No.
It's only been a year and a half. Like, it takes podcasts years to develop those skills.
That
Podcasters years to
develop those interview skills, develop those talking skills.
Yeah.
I think what I really want to focus on is a lot of people that are in this gym, our clients, watch our podcast. And they've been coming to us saying like, oh, I really liked that episode. I really liked hearing Jodie Ann's story. I really liked hearing what you guys spoke about with Seb. And that's inspired me to want to teach them more things on the podcast. If they're watching it, I want to give them more insights. I want to get people on that will give them more knowledge that we don't have. And we've booked in a few new guests that are going to be providing you guys some cute little insights.
I think that's the exciting part is now we've warmed ourselves up in terms of being immersed in this community, in this gym, and kind of wrapping our heads around what the hell we just did over the past 2 months. Because it's been 2 months since we've walked into here. One of those months we did not podcast at all. And we had this brilliant idea of having the 4 weeks off and banking up all these podcasts.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen because we were just overwhelmed with setting up this challenge and the open day and all these things just hit you at once.
Yeah.
Now we're at a point where we're kind of diverting our energy into educating ourselves as much as possible, finding the time to sit down and spend an hour or so sitting with a client and talking to them and asking them questions, developing some social media content that would evidently benefit someone rather than just capture someone's attention with a 4 or 5 second video of us doing a pull-up with a quote over the top of it.
I guess for a while we were thinking that we had to blow up on social media.
Yeah.
that was
our ideal way of thinking. Where let's just make quick content that catches people's attention and draws them to follow us, because that's what we want to do, is grow our following base.
Funny enough, we never did that with the podcast. We never did this thing where we were trying to clip farm and get mad guests on that would, with big followings. Like we never actually did that.
Yeah.
We always focused on getting guests that could teach us things. You know, we got business owners because we wanted to learn more about business. We got finance gurus because we wanted to learn more about accounting. We got online coaches on because we wanted to learn more about online coaching. And all those things, all those people that we got on were people that helped us along our journey. So every podcast that we've had has led us to where we are right now, in a way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Essentially, it's like our little knowledge book. That's what this podcast is. It's just chapters of us speaking to people and learning about things that we never knew before.
Exactly.
Or dived.
This gym has been built on those podcasts. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. That was Daniel Collins' episode. And for weeks after that podcast, we were talking about quotes and things he said and ways that we can implement some of his teachings. One of our podcast guests is now our business coach.
Like a lot of things have stemmed from it. I don't think we've actually put into perspective what we've done and how we've gotten to where we are. I think there's times where we do these podcasts and it's like, oh, what a drag. And then we sit here and reflect and it's like, okay, this is actually, the enjoyment starts peaking again. Like prior to this, I did not want to record. I don't know about you. You probably wanted to record.
No.
Okay, there we go. But now we're sitting here having a laugh. I wanted to kill you like 20 minutes ago. And now 20 minutes later, we're here sitting on a podcast talking about the fact that we've come from such a place in our past to where we are now. That reflection period, these chapters that we create are such a evolution of what we were to who
If
we
you
are
struggle
now.
with motivation or pain, you're not alone. I'm Rianon from Dynamic Recon Campsie, and we help people stay strong, pain-free, and actually enjoy training. But don't take it from me. Hear what our clients have to say.
Hi, my name is Dora Kadahi.
Hi, my name's Bernie. My name's Angelina, and I've been with Dynamic Recomp for the last 3 months.
I've been training with Dynamic Recon for the last 6 months.
And I love every minute of it.
I love the community that we have here, where we all wake up early, exercise, feel good, and start the day off right.
I like how they have their different roles.
And just the love of exercise.
Brendon, he's a mobility coach, so if I hurt my ankle, he's there to just help me.
It's been a massive asset having them on board with me.
Seriously, get in contact with these guys because they're awesome.
We coach through real change. Welcome to the home of consistency.
So, what was your vision for the podcast when we first started it?
I didn't have one. I've said this on multiple podcasts. I never liked it. I wasn't a fan of it. Sitting in front of a camera, talking to ourselves in the beginning, because the first 20 hours was just you and me. I was spending all day with you, spend another hour speaking with you about the same stuff we speak about all day. So that's that. But the vision after the 20 episodes changed because we started getting guests on. We pushed ourselves to go to Melbourne and expand our team. And we did a podcast. We did 4 podcasts actually. And that's when I believed that there was something special that we were about to do. It may not have been special to the 2 people that were following us at the time or subscribed to us. But in our minds, we had already achieved 20 hours worth of hard work in terms of content. So the vision,
that was editing, scripting, coming up with ideas.
Yes. We didn't even have scripts then.
Oh, we didn't?
We had a theme, And we went off that, and then we started blabbering. One of our highest podcasts is us talking about nutrition. We weren't even a nutritionist at that point. We were talking about the nutrition side of things. Anyway, I think the vision in the beginning was nothing, and it evolved into something. And the name kind of made sense with the Evolv Podcast because it was the evolution of what we were doing. But now,
the evolution of ourselves.
the evolution of ourselves, seeing where we started to where we are now, that social proof, that social backing to know that we started in a little garage. We literally did the Bezos special. We started off in a garage, and now we've got a facility and a gym and a place to call our own office, our own HQ. So the vision kind of stemmed from that, from when we developed Dynamic into what it is today.
Yeah.
And now we have to learn that the evolution, the Evolv Podcast got us to where we are now, the Dynamic Podcast. And I think the vision now for us is to educate as many people as we can, as well as ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's not only ourselves that we're educating now, it's our clients that are watching this now. It's our friends and family that are enveloped in our circle. It's, people that are sharing it to friends and family members. We've got a responsibility now to help people and ourselves so we don't misinform.
That's very important because, if you go into a podcast with no idea of what you want to do or what you want to create or how you want to educate people there's so much content flying around these days. And if they jump onto a podcast and they're like, oh, I want to learn more about nutrition, and that nutrition podcast is all false with no evidence, then they're gaining a whole lot of nothing and actually can create some bad habits.
You may as well listen to Hardstyle for 20 hours straight at that point. Because when you're misinforming people, you're guiding them down a path of them giving the wrong information to other people.
Yeah.
The purpose of what we created this podcast to be was to not show that we're being false, not to educate incorrectly. Now it's about educating correctly, full stop.
And that's why we're continuously trying to educate ourselves so that we can give the right information to other people. So when they watch our podcast, they're actually gaining something from it too. And that's what our goal is. That's why we're trying to get guests on that know about the things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
We're getting someone that is going to be talking about yoga and Pilates. We're not yoga and Pilates people. We don't teach yoga, we don't teach Pilates, but these people have been teaching it for 20 plus years that we're going to be having on the podcast. And a lot of people can gain something from that because a lot of our clients do yoga, a lot of our clients do Pilates, and it will be good for them to have a watch of that podcast and realize okay, this is why it's good to have strength training in my life, but also good to have Pilates in my life. Because we would never tell someone to not do something without learning about it too.
Exactly. I'm excited for this next chapter of the podcast. I know that I said that today I wanted to smack you across the face and I wasn't bothered to do this and you weren't bothered to do this, but I think when we spend the time this feels like us time to me. This feels like time to
decompress, reflect, look back on the time that we've had, and then also it gives us a little bit of a gust of wind to go back into and work on the business as well. Because now we're solidified in what we want to do. Whereas before it was just like
do everything,
anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Now it's actually solidifying what we're trying to achieve with everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're interviewing mums, we're interviewing the people in this gym.
Yeah.
We're having podcasts with the people in this gym. We're interviewing guests at this gym, and we're just trying to essentially learn more from them. There's something that we've been doing since we started this gym is we have a little box at the front, and it's a suggestions box. And something we do all the time is we're always promoting it. We're always telling people, leave a suggestion in here if you want to add something. You feel like something's missing from this gym that would help you, add it in the suggestions box. And we have a pretty high percentage of actually getting those things answered.
Well, I think we answered, One of them was a sauna, and we got that within the week, so that was a big tick. One of
We didn't get a nice bath.
No.
Sorry, Craig.
Who's gonna watch this as well?
Yes. I feel like not many businesses do that. I could be wrong, and I'm sure there's millions of businesses that do exactly what we're doing. But from what I know, not many businesses actually listen to their clients, but actually act on those things. I think that they know all the answers.
There's a handful of businesses that I could name off the top of my head that do that, but that's it.
Yeah,
because we've either had them on the podcast and they've spoken about it.
Well, all the guests that we've had on do what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's essentially where we got those ideas from.
It's another testament to the podcast as well. Like that's what we want to project out to people, is that
the guests that we have on are good business owners, good people,
good business owners, great passions. Like they all have a vision.
Yeah, like one of my favorites was Mo. You know, he's just up the road from us, and he definitely knows what his vision is. He definitely knows what he wants to achieve, and I feel like he's out to get it.
Oh yeah,
create generational impact.
Shit, yeah. The passion he has behind every video is just full passion, full drive, full determination. Nothing
and I'm
will
sure
stand
all
in his
of his
way.
clients see that.
Yeah,
in the gym.
Yeah,
every single day.
Yeah,
and that's why they probably turn up to his sessions or turn up to their sessions and train on their own or do whatever they're trying to achieve, and they're probably getting great results there because he's doing a good job.
There's a big difference between a coach and a trainer.
Yeah, like he's a great coach.
Yeah. Having that vision for not only yourself but your business,
and
if you are running one, and your clients, can really, really, really impact the long-term effects of your clients.
Or the community as well.
And the community. Because your voice is so soft, but when you impact more people through your work is where your voice can become louder.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what Anthony's doing, Ben's doing, Claudia's doing. Like all those people that have been on our podcasts, they've impacted not only themselves by having a vision for themselves, but for their clients as well.
Yeah, and that's spiraled into what they're achieving out there right now. So if you want to hear more about these people, you can go to our previous episodes. We also link their businesses inside those episodes as well. So if you want to check them out, see what they're about, feel free. Some of them are pretty cool. Go check out their gyms. Go check out what they're doing. Yeah. Don't leave us, but.
Come here, please. Where do you see this podcast heading in the next 5 years? Now that we've spoken about our vision for it, or what our vision used to be and what it is now, where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
The podcast is always going to be here. I see it staying for the next 5 years. I definitely see it evolving over the next 5 years. You know, it's evolved a lot in 2 years. A lot is going to happen in the next 5 years that could change what it is, what it does. But I just want to keep on creating a safe space for people to learn and see us grow and develop. Because essentially our podcast, how it's always been and how it's always going to be, is documenting our journey. And we're getting guests on that align with what we're doing at that current time. You know, as I said before, we were talking a lot about our finances. So we got an accountant on the podcast at that time, you know, that educated us. But then anyone that watched that episode would have learned something about finance and accounting and how to budget and all that kind of stuff too. Then we were struggling with our business. So we got someone that we knew was a very great business owner, Daniel Collins. And he taught us a lot of skills and techniques and gave us some motivational quotes to kick us up the bum and get us off our ass and start making sales. I'll always remember that pod. And now we're starting to realize that we've got a really great community here and we want to really help them out. So we're going to get guests on that will help them, give them knowledge in areas that we don't know. So I feel like the trajectory in the next 5 years is constantly evolving, making sure that we're educating ourselves so we can educate our people a lot more, but also getting guests on that will not only educate us, but will educate our audience too.
That's big. What do you see the podcast as?
A platform where we can show our community, show our audience more about ourselves.
Yeah.
So they can start to know, like, and trust us a lot more than what they do right now. They can see more about what we hold true to ourselves, our visions, our passions, and when they start seeing that, they're gonna actually have more of that trust factor to know that, hey, that's a person I can go to when I have XYZ problem. You know, they're actually learning about the things that I want to know more about. They're actually having people on their podcast that actually help me. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I should go to them and actually ask them about it because they might know a bit more stuff about XYZ topic. And because we're doing the podcast, we're actually learning those things. Learning the things that we want to learn, which develops our brand, develops our reputation. It might not show in the amount of followers or likes or comments or viewers on each of the platforms that we post a podcast on, but it definitely shows in our community. And I just want to be consistent because helping one person is all we need to do. If we can help one person from one of our episodes, then we've done a good job.
Quote from Jody Ann's podcast. I like it.
So I know this podcast has gone in multiple different directions and we've just waffled on about a lot of stuff. But in essence, what we've done today is we've changed the name of our podcast to align closer with our business because the same two people that run the business run the podcast. We thought it would be better to merge the two things together. We've started interviewing more people inside our gym to connect our community, make sure that they're learning the things that we want to learn. And we're essentially pushing out content to these people from these podcasts as well. So what we learn here is what we're teaching in the classes, is what we're teaching in our seminars and what we're teaching in our one-to-one PT sessions as well. And it's what we're teaching our coaches as well. So the people that you work with inside this gym or inside this facility or in our mobile PT services, you're gaining that knowledge from our podcasts in some way. And our goal is to make sure that we're always refining what we're learning and making sure that it aligns with our business. So then the knowledge that you're getting is what we want to teach you.
And it's not fake.
It's not fake.
We want it to come from the horse's mouth straight away because if we misinform you, then that's not good on us. At the end of the day, like the name change and all that, that's all like the fancy schmancy, like thumbnail, clickbait shit that we changed our names. But
cool, man. But
it's more about
the meaning behind it is what makes the most sense.
It's more about aligning who we are with what we do and what we stand for, all in the one. We've evolved, and now we've evolved from evolved to dynamic because we want to learn a lot more about everything in terms of our gym, our business, self-development, health and fitness, and our journey starting as brand new business owners. So
if you come to our podcast, get ready to get some insights into our journey, into self-development and our journey as developing young males, our business, and health and fitness because we're PTs, nutritionists, and we're pretty much do it all.
If you like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next week with a new guest. Toodaloo.
And thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the Dynamic Podcast.
Thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if friends are interested, share it around.
Don't forget to comment your favourite part of this episode and tag us on your social media platforms.
And we'll see you next Friday. Ciao.